So yeah, we've explored what's behind the curtain, and we don't want to go there again, do we?
No, not really.
The good, the bad, and the ugly show.
Okay, hello and welcome again to the Good, the Bad and the Ugly show. This week we're trying something new, something different.
A bit different. I'm coming to join it. I'm Sobs. I work mainly on Twitch and things like that, but branching over with you to do a little bit of these videos.
Yeah. So yeah, this is basically like a filmed podcast thing. I would say it was an original idea that I came up with, but basically everyone's doing it, so I'm just copying them.
Yeah, we're not going to get away with saying this is massively original.
But no, it's a thing people do now, and I think it's pretty good because we have some conversations in real life that we should probably
say that we met. We both take our kids to school, and we met actually at a school gate. It's like
we did.
Talking music of all kinds, film and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You were making video, I was streaming.
Yeah,
We had a lot in common, and here we are. This is the outcome of that.
indeed.
We're trialing this idea of kind of a few kind of questions.
Yeah. So we're going to do we'll do like segments of like 5 questions, but only as a basic outline, and then we'll just kind of like go with that and go off to it. We shouldn't tell you those questions there, to be honest, but we're just explaining how we're starting this up.
We're giving away the magic of the whole situation, but it's more because this is a bit of a kind of
Get thrown out the guild, mate.
Exactly. We're going to have our magical rights taken away. But classic. Oh.
So we're going to go with the first question we've written down here, which is earliest memory of renting a video.
Absolutely, and I've actually got a lot of really good memories of renting my first video. Where was the first place you rented a video?
Where was the first place? Difficult one, isn't it? I think it was like my corner shop had like a tiny section on the side of it.
I remember I had a spa in where I lived in Devon. And basically, the spa had about 10 videos.
Yeah.
And you could exchange those, and there were certain ones that you never saw once they came in again.
Yeah.
But and wished that you had seen.
Get some interesting titles in these places.
Absolutely. They get an interesting pick of the larder, really. But I mean, earliest actual rental for me, my mum actually met my stepdad in a videotape store.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
cool.
That he was working there, and she was going in regularly with me and my friend. Okay, fine. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, cause that was the story.
That was the story. It was great.
Okay, no, that's cool. That's cool.
You can tell I do this a lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, my mum met my stepdad in a video store.
Yeah.
The video store was called the Picture Palace. It was in this shit little area that I lived in. Really, do you not swear on your channel?
Oh no, we can swear. We can say fuck.
I just suddenly I don't have any censorship.
That's fine.
I just suddenly thought is that?
Oh no, we swore. I'm making this for kids. No, you want to watch some of this stuff.
You know. My mum met my stepdad in a video shop. And it was called the Picture Palace, and it was in this kind of shit end of nowhere little village, and it was the one place that I used to go as a kid and just feel like, like it was exciting. And it was like that proper little haven, me and my friend Dan, we've watched film together for 25 years.
Yeah.
And I remember renting things like Scream and stuff like that. Ridiculous films, really.
Yeah.
But brilliant films, nonetheless. That on a tape felt so great, It felt brilliant.
Yeah.
So, and you said your corner shop was kind of your first.
Yeah, But I'd always piss my mates off because they'd say, "Oh, what do you want to get?" And they'd be like, "Oh, I don't even know about films." So like, "Oh, I get this." Okay. I'm like, "Oh, here we go. There's like a Patrick Troughton 60s Doctor Who video in there. Like, I don't know the croutons, whatever the hell those things with the spiky heads were cool." Yeah. But I remember like getting stuff like that, and they'd sit there, they'd bored out their brains watching this black and white BBC Doctor Who thing for 8 hours and hours. I remember once renting the Ewoks cartoon as well.
Wow.
Like, 4 episodes of the Ewoks cartoon. There
Wow, okay. I remember Gummy Bears, like, when I was really, really young and we went to Picture Palace. Yeah. Gummy Bears was one that I rented loads for some reason, and that's like quality, a very early memory there that just hit me in the face. Again, Picture Palace as well. Yeah. Picture Palace. Not going anymore, but, you know. I think
at one point, the only films I rented, like 3 of them on a continuous loop, was the first 2 Naked Gun films and Drop Dead Fred. You know, Drop Dead Fred, I must have rented that like hundreds of times.
What an amazing film. You know, Rick Mayall is best, as far as I'm concerned. Well, he's been brilliant in everything.
That was his
to America, isn't it?
Yeah, that was it. He was trying to make it in America, because what all British comedians do is, like, once they get really established, they think they can become American movie stars.
We can be stars.
And, like... If, you know, like Ricky Gervais and Steve Coogan are like these modern examples of that.
Simon Pegg, he's kind of managed it.
I mean, Rick Mayall didn't really stand a chance, because like, you've got to be British really to kind of get that
coming from the
humor,
British punk movement of stand-up comedy in kind of London, in the comic strip. I mean, you know, amazing career really, when you look at the people he's worked with. Ben Elton writing for him half the time. Like, an amazing lineup of people, and Ade Edmondson by his side and bottom. I mean, fantastic for Britain. We're going to lap that up, but America don't get it.
It bombed, I think.
Yeah.
I think it bombed in America. It had Carrie Fisher in it as well.
It didn't bomb over here, though. We loved it. We loved that. I mean, the whole dog poo scene. Dog poo, smelly dog poo, all on the chair, all up there. I mean, what an amazing... That is Rick Mayall, as far as I'm concerned, in America. Like,
he gets his head caught in the fridge.
Yeah, it was
favourite bits. It's really, really weird. And like, a lot of effects in that. I don't know if they're deliberately made to look bad, but they don't know. It's weird, man.
Well, it works. It almost had that kind of Beetlejuice element to it.
Yeah, but not as well done. You see him fly out the music box.
Yeah, and he hits the. He's like hitting all the.
He's a little rolled up doll, isn't he? And he goes into the bed. So you're like, that looks nothing like anything. Like, but you know, it's It's crazy, man.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic film. It's just so bizarre because, as well, 2 nights ago I watched, is it Naked Gun and a Half? Is it Two and a half, the second one, because at the moment it's on Netflix. So
that was when it was still okay to laugh at O.J. Simpson.
There's a lot of really, really questionable jokes in that film. But like in this day and age, in the way that we now kind of it's funny.
It was pre-woke and stuff like that. I'm not getting too bogged down with all that stuff.
No.
Yeah, it was pre like people really caring too much about this stuff.
Absolutely. It's just silly, which is just fantastic.
And Leslie Nielsen, you know what a guy. He used to carry around a little fart box, so he'd be in like interviews or like he'd be on TV being interviewed like a TV show, and he'd suddenly do this fart thing with his hands, and make everyone look really uncomfortable. But I love that. He'd just do it at any given moment. Usually the most serious moments. You know you've got a good comedian. You know,
that should just be the law, really. I think it's fantastic. Yeah. No, that is like...
It's highbrow humour as well.
Highbrow humour.
Yeah. Serious stuff, man.
Yeah. 100%.
So, another thing on here we got, number 2, we might as well go to anyway, because we're kind of cruising along. Says, what was behind the curtain?
What was behind the curtain? I think
the Red Room or something, you know. Jesus Christ. The dwarf stands backwards and like... You ever seen Twin Peaks? You know?
Yeah.
This will make more sense that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but no, I don't think the Dark Lodge was behind the curtain. But porn was lots of porn. Usually,
lots of porn was behind the curtain.
There was usually a dark horror corner. Like I don't know if you remember it being like that, but a dark corner of the store.
Where was the true horror corner?
Behind the curtain. Man.
Yeah.
And it's kind of you go to do it, and when someone shouts, and you kind of go, I was looking at this.
I was just looking at that. To be honest, horror was normally quite close to it. Actually.
Yeah,
I think you're right. You're going in the right direction of
Yes, you're definitely going in the right direction.
I think you think horror, and then maybe some kind of really dodgy sci-fi, and then into the curtain.
Yeah, I mean sci-fi and horror like kind of interchangeable. Quite a lot of time, you know, like things like The Thing and stuff.
I feel a bit sad that I never got the opportunity. I never actually managed to get behind the curtain as a young man.
Yeah,
and I'll never get the chance again. I'm sure it was shit.
Wasn't that great?
Just be able to say that you'd done it, you know. So I mean, I never got that opportunity.
There was the Joke Shop.
Think of what you'll miss out on now. You know,
the Joke Shop down 4th Street in Exeter. You know, it's called Fantasy World, I think. But, that's a plug for them. But years ago, they had a whole corner of their shop, like a whole another shop that was curtained off.
Oh, okay.
That would have all the weird, like,
really
sex stuff in
shit.
it. Which,
We're about to do.
No, there we go. So, we've explored what's behind the curtain, and we don't want to go there again, do we?
No, not really. It was quite dark.
So, earliest encounter with VHS or Betamax, because everyone had a Betamax player.
Absolutely.
I actually did at one point. My brother got given like a Betamax video player, or maybe he bought it at a boot sale or something.
Oh, right.
But he got hold of one and it had a camera.
Oh, wow.
Like a film camera.
Wow.
But what Betamax did, and a genius, is they made it so the camera has to be plugged into the video player all the time.
Oh, wow, okay.
You can't disconnect it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the player was so this
it
big.
wasn't the time of wireless anyway,
No,
I guess,
this is
in
it.
a lot of ways.
But huge, great big thing. These Betamax players, they weighed twice the weight of like an old video player, and they were like twice the size. So you'd have to put that in a rucksack and carry around another big generator or a couple and film at the same time. So it wasn't like you couldn't really take it to festivals. You're taking your fucking video player with you as well. You know,
portable.
yeah. That was portable in the 90s. I guess.
Actually, Space do an amazing reference to that, where Jessica Stevens comes back from holiday in the first episode of series 2. And she's got the camera, and she's like, "Welcome to the 21st."
It was a bit like that, you know. Back they didn't show you that stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, like cameras now are tiny, aren't they? You know,
well,
that's
the camera we're using now.
Is tiny.
I mean, compared to like when I think of like we used to go skateboarding, we used to take a lot of cameras, and they were huge. They were massive.
Yeah.
Like
the ones that had the little video that would fit into a big video. Is that right?
Yeah.
That was weird, wasn't it? That's some technology there, man.
There's some technology.
Yeah.
You need to buy a video in order. That's consumerist. Heaven.
Well, I don't know if you can still get them, but there were cassette tapes with USBs in them, which you plug into your cassette player, and then you plug that into your iPod, and it will play through the head of the cassette player.
Oh, brilliant! Kind of like in a car.
Converting your cassette deck to like iPod and stuff.
Fantastic.
Which is a crazy idea, because
that's so handy.
Yeah. But I mean, like, to find a car with a tape deck, there's the thing to do it. Why do they make that? But there you go. That's the thing. But anyway. Getting back to the Betamax player, the only problem with it was it would do this thing up the screen. So like you'd be watching a video playback and the fuzziness would all come down, and the sound would disappear.
Okay,
and then it would come back.
Yeah.
They did that on like a cycle. So we used to make these horror films, and that would happen.
Oh, nice.
Every now and then you play it back.
Like
but
cheap effects.
Yeah. We made an amazing version of Frankenstein, which I had a Frankenstein mask and chased. But we did try and
and you 5 other friends to carry the rig.
I ended up taking the thing apart and trying to like turn the head round, trying to do all these different things to try and make it work. And like once I got it with perfect pitch shape, it was speeded up sound.
Oh wow!
I'm like, how have I done this? I shouldn't be going in there with a screwdriver just fucking things around anyway, which I don't know what I'm doing. No. But eventually it just.
But that was the beauty of these things. Is I remember as a kid taking a screwdriver to like video players and all kinds of things. You could take things apart. You could put bits back in.
If your video chewed up, you could snip the tape off where it went bad, and then sellotape it back together. You could do that, or rejoin it to the actual wheel itself. Even more safe, right? Yeah, we had to do this shit. This is it, man.
For a world that no longer exists.
Also, videos you could.
These were survival hacks.
This is before the internet, right? So think about that. Before like eBay, before Amazon, any of that stuff. So if you got a video, you had to find that video in the city you were living in.
Yeah.
And if it was deleted, you'd never find it. You have to go to boot sales and jumble sales and all that. Whereas now you can just order one online. It's like things, or just download it on the. Things are so much easier now. You think back then, if like your favourite film had gone and you couldn't just watch it again.
No,
you have to then go out and physically find it somewhere.
It's like I said, the Spa had 10 videos, of which if there was someone that liked one of the videos and they got there first, that's 30 views before you get it back. So that's probably another 30
This is it, man. You're not seeing that for a long time.
You're not seeing that for a while.
I remember getting, I got given Psycho 2 as a screener by my dad. He found it in a shop, and it was one of those videos which doesn't have like the 18 certificate, and it says promotional use only. And then when you watch it, it's got a running time at the top of the screen, and it says like promotional use comes up every now and then.
Absolutely.
That's how I saw Psycho 2, and I'm like, that's amazing.
That's amazing.
So I thought, I want to see the rest of them. So I went out and bought Psycho. That's in every video shop. You can get that for like, extortionate amounts of money, but it was there. And then you want to see like Psycho 3 and 4, forget about it, man. It took me years to like track those down before they got re-released on like DVD and stuff. Psycho 3, the only place I could ever find that was a Betamax video.
Absolutely.
So we watched that with the whole sound disappearing thing, and that's how I first watched that film.
That adds attention.
yeah. So seeing Psycho, always a weird thing going on. Because Psycho 4, I eventually got a new video player, which was a VHS this time.
Absolutely.
But it was also fucked. So it was okay when it played stuff, but when you tried to record stuff, it recorded and do that same thing the Beatmax thing was doing it.
The whole glitch.
So I finally taped Psycho 4 as it was on TV late one night, and then I went to watch it.
You had the same effect.
Man.
It was like coming back though. But no, but that's like going back in time, because then you're like watching the first one again.
Right there, it's all black and white.
Effect,
yeah.
You know?
It was quite good. Did you ever see Psycho 4? It was quite good.
Yeah, no, I did.
Had the kid from E.T. who played Elliot as the young Norman Bates.
Is that the same kids?
Yeah,
I did not know that, actually.
Yeah, it's a strange one, that. And I love how Anthony Perkins is like kind of he's on the phone, he's telling it as his life story.
Yeah.
But there's scenes like where the young Norman Bates is watching his like mum and her boyfriend have sex in his bed, and it all goes dark, and then goes to the corner of the room, and Anthony Perkins just stood there.
Oh wow!
And because he's reminiscing, this is in his head. But imagine like filming that scene.
Yeah.
You got like, this young lad in the corner watching these two people kind of get it on, and Anthony Perkins stood in the shady part of the room.
It sounds like quite a party. Like,
yeah.
That's
a funny thing. It's actually quite good as well, Psycho 4. It probably gets a bad rap, but I think it's pretty good.
Most
Psycho 3, did you ever see that one?
I don't know that I did, actually.
That was weird, right?
I've watched things and like kind of disjointed, like around when people are watching things. So yeah, I don't think I did catch.
That was directed by Anthony Perkins as well.
Right. Okay.
So the guy who plays Norman Bates.
Yeah.
So this is like, I'm going to make this film I've already been in like all my life, as my kind of vehicle, and do what I want with it. It was weird. It was really hard.
Okay, cool.
There's some strange stuff in that film, but it's worth a go as well. Definitely.
No, absolutely.
Quite amusing, like gorier than the other ones.
Okay, cool.
Because it's 80s, it's like 1986.
Yeah, okay.
You're going to go down that road.
There's a lot of gore happening at the time. May as well bring that back in. Yeah, no, definitely.
But there we go. That was a little off-topic thing.
Absolutely. Well, talking about, what did you say they're called, where they got the runtime in the top? Screeners?
Yeah.
Well, I think we've talked about this before. I had a copy of Cable Guy.
Oh, yeah.
Which again came from my stepdad, and that was a screener. That was a really cool one to have, I thought. But and I watched that for years. It's
interesting because I've been collecting like work prints for a little while now, a couple of years.
Wow.
And you have these like groups out there. I won't say who any of them are because it's illegal. But there's groups on certain places online where like they share these work prints, and the work print is like an early cut of the film.
Wow.
So sometimes it'll have like green screen background, it'll have unfinished effects.
Okay.
And it'll also have like deleted scenes as well, and that's the thing people go mad for, because what the film looked like when the director had finished it before the studio came in and said, no, we want that gone.
Yeah.
It's a good way to see a full like vision of something. So some of these are like an hour longer or something. It's just it's like a whole different film. Like
yeah.
But screeners are like sought after now. If you can find those videos, people like pay good money for them because they think it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I guess it is. It's a version of something that's gone to like a shop before the public is supposed to see it.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's a special thing. It's a limited edition. It's not anything
I can't think why you'd now want to watch like your favourite film in slightly dodgier quality,
like
running bar at the top with no other differences.
Quality,
So you're like, that's a real kind of weird one for me. But
yeah.
So what's your earliest encounter with with video with VHS with that format?
Earliest encounter with VHS would probably be, I used to go and stay with my granddad. And there was a lot of video around there. He was very into film. I remember him when Waterworld came out. I remember him being really excited because there was a big buzz about Waterworld, about the money that went in. It was a bit of a failure.
Kevin Costner is a little bit cursed, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he is.
And the postman and all,
I mean, I loved that film. I thought it was such a cool concept, and I quite liked him in it.
It was like Mad Max on water, right? Really?
Absolutely.
Which is what
looking for land. What do you not want? Exactly. There's these guys, the smokers that they're harvesting like this. They've got the last of the oil reserve. Basically.
Yeah.
Amazing kind of concept.
Kind of reminded me of Mad Max 3 with the whole like town with the water currency and all that. It's like the opposite.
Exactly.
But
but
same, I guess.
Very much the same. Like it's just that they kind of went a bit darker almost in Waterworld because it's kind of this kind of thing of like water isn't the fucking main thing. Actually, oil is.
Yeah.
Like, but because I suppose in Waterworld, water is technically everywhere and can be processed. So I guess that's probably actually Now thinking about it, probably a reason why, but
yeah. Well, you can't drink seawater.
No, but you have to process
you have to put it through
you
a kind of
process. Exactly. So but it's there in abundance, I guess.
Yeah.
And also, you can as he proves in the film, with the strange little pendulum device that he pisses into, you can drink your piss, obviously, and survive quite happily. Happily,
people done it. People used to do it.
Exactly. Whatever it takes, If you're living on a catamaran, you've got 1 tomato for the next 4 months.
Yep.
That's probably the way you're going to go. You're probably going to drink your own piss. Let's face it.
It's going to happen sooner or later.
Exactly. May as well just get it done. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. Going back to the kind of the rare film thing again. There's a cut out there called the Odyssey Cut of Waterworld.
Oh, is there?
That's got a load of extra stuff in it.
Oh,
but
wow.
I think it's got extra violence and stuff because they say it's the version that Kevin Costner didn't want to see.
Right.
So he didn't want this cut out. And that's the one you can get now.
The one that we all wanted to see, but he did not want to see.
I do have a copy of it.
I've started to realise why the bomb happened, really, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they took out all the great violence.
Yeah, well, they wanted to give it a cinema release, that's the thing, isn't it?
Fantastic.
So more people watch it, I guess.
The whole kind of look of that film is beautiful. There's a lot of steampunk element, a lot of it's a beautiful thing. I do love that.
Yeah, it did start a lot of that and was it Wild West?
Wild West, blimey.
There's a bit of a early steampunk in that, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of steampunk in that. That had that lovely Western feel, which steampunk loved to run with. So,
Weird film. Everyone thought it was shit at the time, but I guess it kind of it did pave path to a few ideas, didn't it?
I think that I went with a guy called Joe Godwin, and we went to cinema to see it.
Oh, really?
I think very, very roughly, but I went to cinema a lot as a kid. Again, cinema was really important.
Yeah.
And where you went, I always went Picture oh my god, no, I didn't. I went to Picture House.
Picture House.
That's right.
Yeah.
Regularly. Yeah.
My dad used to take me when I was a kid. When I was about 10, 11 years old. They started showing films like Psycho, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and stuff like that. And my dad took me to those. Yeah, seeing Psycho on the big screen was
that's pretty cool. Yeah, that would be cool to see on a big screen.
They showed Woodstock in its entirety as well.
Oh, cool.
See, are you aware of the Woodstocks that followed that?
What, as in the 1999 Woodstock?
Yeah,
where they burnt everything
down? That's the one.
Yeah. I do remember that. Yeah. What was it? Limp Bizkit break stuff, which kind of set it off.
Yeah,
they did the whole. It was just one of those days.
He was in a real dick kind of mood, wasn't he?
And then, of course, what do you do in that scenario? So you've just kind of reared up an entire crowd. You go and hand out candles.
Yeah, that's a good peace, man. They're like, we're not into that. Torch everything,
Torch the entire place. When they're 12 lorries that just went up in a row and pretty bad. And I remember watching a documentary on it where you saw the guys that originally put on Woodstock. And they were pretty much crying as they told this story because it kind of shat all over everything they believed in, to be honest.
There was a good documentary recently, right? Did you see that?
I don't know if I saw that.
That was very good.
I don't know. This was a while back that I watched that documentary.
Oh, okay. So. They just released a new one.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
I might need to look into that.
The one before that I managed to get hold of footage of. The 1994, that was all grunge and stuff. That was a much more kind of mellow, peaceful.
Yeah, well, grunge was a good time. I don't know if you can tell, but grunge was a really, really good time. So, it was that kind of next hippie stage. There was a lot of self-expression, a lot of and a lot of love, actually. So yeah, it makes sense. I remember though the likes of people like Limp Bizkit and Korn and things like that, and the crowd being somewhat different. So yeah, and I have been at those gigs too. So yeah, absolutely, very different crowd.
Remember, 9 Inch Nails went and rolled in the mud before going on stage,
cool,
and they looked amazing. That was an epic bit of footage of them with all the mud,
Yeah, totally.
I always thought that was makeup for years. I thought they'd do some weird,
an amazing
arty thing there, but
that must have taken 2 hours to set up.
No,
just roll in the mud.
Rolled around some mud.
Yeah, brilliant.
That's pretty good.
That's fantastic. 9 Inch Nails, fantastic. Yeah, that would be a cool thing to see. I never saw 9 Inch Nails at a festival or anything. That would be incredible.
Yeah.
That would be quite a gig.
One of the few bands you still can actually. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they're still doing it,
I don't know, but I mean, I imagine if they are around, they're still going because just Creation was pretty big.
Yeah.
There was a lot of it, and there's a big discography there. But then, like when you were saying about the tape earlier, and like you were saying about kind of like taping it back together and all this kind of stuff, that's a big thing of like why I'm a big lover of like Boards of Canada and stuff, because they were coming out of this kind of turn of analog to digital, some digital bits, some analog bits. I sent you a while back a little bit.
Yeah. That was good though.
Yeah, really chilled. Yeah. Like, but they did a lot of tape manipulation where they put holes in tape. I've got a friend called Adam who does it. And you can make these incredible sounds. Like, so again, like you had this kind of like very adaptable thing in the tape. You know, you could start making noises out of things of you recording a vocal of yourself, then manipulating that, then playing that back in, then feeding that somewhere else, and that you know, that was the beauty of tape, I think. Is that
you could do a lot with it. I mean, we used to muck around, me and my brother, with stuff like that.
Totally.
But yeah, I did a video recently on the White Noise Electric Storm. The BBC Radiophonic Workshop people. That's worth looking into. Like they'd have like people stood across the room, you know, dragging this tape out.
Wow.
And trying to, it's all very hard.
Yeah. I mean, when you see the old tape delay. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those close, but they spread tape out across the top.
Oh yeah,
that's how they make a lot of, like, the actual tape delays. Like, and you've just got this tape spilling across the top. It's an amazing thing to watch. But like, so I mean, tape is like really, you know, even just for like effects in studios and things, it's an amazing thing. Like, really cool. Really cool.
So we got VHS to talk about videos apparently, but
apparently
you did it with videos as well. I mean, it would be fun to experiment with. I remember film The Last Broadcast, was it called? But they go looking for the Jersey Devil. It's like
oh wow.
I think it was before Blair Witch. I think Blair Witch actually ripped this off.
Oh, okay.
These guys, like, cameras go into the woods trying to find this devil thing and make a documentary about it.
Wow, no.
I think The Last Broadcast was like the first one that did that.
Oh, right.
There's a bit in there where they're doing, like, they find the tape all, like, chewed up and, like, in a hedge or whatever.
Right.
So they have to try and put it back together, the video footage. And they've got this weird machine they're like feeding it all through and straightening it out and all this chewed up tape. And it looks amazing. And, like, the whole technology of that was, like, that's a device that I want. I want to just fuck around with, like, just chewed up videotapes all day.
It's going. two times. That's good.
Oh, well, we can cut the Please like, share, and subscribe to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Show.
Because there's no room left in here.